In this video we will discuss self-esteem and how to find a way to rest easy thinking about yourself. If you have low self-esteem, tackle the intensity of your thoughts and convictions to change how you feel about yourself. Low self-esteem can be profoundly established with inceptions in horrendous youth encounters, for example, delayed detachment from parent figures, disregard, or enthusiastic, physical, or sexual maltreatment. In later life, self-esteem can be subverted by sick health, negative life occasions, for example, losing a vocation or getting separated, insufficient or disappointing connections, and a general feeling of absence of control. This feeling of absence of control might be particularly set apart in survivors of enthusiastic, physical, or sexual maltreatment, or casualties of segregation on the grounds of religion, culture, race, sex, or sexual direction. The connection between low self-esteem and mental issue and mental pain is mind-boggling. Low self-esteem inclines to mental turmoil, which thusly thumps self-esteem. Now and again, low self-esteem is in itself a cardinal element of mental issue, particularly sorrow. Individuals with low self-esteem will, in general, consider that to be as a threatening spot and themselves as its casualty. Accordingly, they are hesitant to communicate and advocate for themselves, pass up encounters and openings, and feel weak to change things. This brings down their self-esteem, even more, sucking them into a descending winding. On the off chance that you feel that you experience the ill effects of poor self-esteem, there are various straightforward things that you can do to help yourself and, ideally, break out of the descending winding. Basically, self-esteem is your assessment of yourself and your capacities. It very well may be low, high, or someplace in the middle. While everybody incidentally has questions about themselves, low self-esteem can leave you feeling shaky and unmotivated. You may have the option to recognize a couple of things that are influencing your assessment of yourself. Perhaps you're being harassed, or you may be feeling forlorn, or it could be a secret. In any case, there are stacks of things you can do to improve your self-esteem. Low self-esteem can negatively influence basically every aspect of your life, including your connections, your activity, and your health. Be that as it may, you can help your self-esteem by submitting general direction to sorts of mental health guiding. Think about these means, in view of cognitive behavioral treatment. You may as of now be doing a portion of these things, and you positively don't have to do them all. Simply do the ones that you feel generally great with. 1. Grasp whatever you're thinking. Rather than battling, opposing, or being overpowered by negative thoughts or sentiments, acknowledge them. You don't need to like them, simply permit yourself to feel them. Negative contemplations should be controlled, changed, or followed up on. Plan to decrease the intensity of your negative considerations and their effect on your conduct. These means may appear to be clumsy from the start, yet they'll get simpler with training. As you perceive the thoughts and beliefs that are adding to your low self-esteem, you can counter them or change the manner in which you consider them. This will assist you with tolerating your incentive as an individual. As your self-esteem builds, your certainty and feeling of prosperity are probably going to take off. Notwithstanding these recommendations, attempt to recall every day that you're worth uncommon consideration. With that in mind, make certain to invest energy with people who fulfill you. Try not to sit around idly on people who don't treat you well. Do things you appreciate. Start by making a rundown of things you like to do. Attempt to accomplish something from that rundown consistently. Deal with yourself. Follow great health rules. Attempt to work out in any event 30 minutes every day most days of the week. Eat bunches of vegetables and fruits. Limit animal fats, sweets, and junk foods. 2. Make a stride back from the things that are on your mind. Rehash your negative considerations ordinarily or record them in a bizarre manner, for example, with your non-dominant hand. Envision seeing your negative thoughts composed on various items. You may, in any event, sing a melody about them in your psyche. These practices can assist you with making a stride once again from musings and convictions that are frequently programmed, and watch them. Rather than attempting to change your thoughts, separation yourself from your considerations. Understand that they are not all that much or not as much as words. 3. Recognize disturbing conditions or circumstances. Once more, consider the conditions or circumstances that appear to collapse your self-esteem. When you've recognized disturbing circumstances, focus on your thoughts about them. 4. Alter the things that you think about and what you believe in. Presently supplant negative or mistaken thoughts with precise, productive musings. Attempt these systems. Energize yourself. Give yourself acknowledgement for rolling out positive improvements. For instance, my introduction probably won't have been great, yet my associates posed inquiries and stayed drew in, which implies that I achieved my objective. Stay away from should and should proclamations. In the event that you find that your thoughts are brimming with these words, you may be putting outlandish requests on yourself, or on others. Expelling these words from your considerations can prompt increasingly sensible desires. Relabel upsetting contemplations. You don't have to respond adversely to negative thoughts. Rather, consider negative thoughts as signs to attempt new, healthy examples. Ask yourself, what would I be able to think and do to make this less stressful? Consider what you've realized. In the event that it was a negative encounter, what may you do any other way whenever to make a progressively positive result? Concentrate on the positive. Consider the pieces of your life that function admirably. Consider the abilities you've used to adapt to testing circumstances. Pardon yourself. Everybody commits errors, and botches aren't lasting reflections on you as an individual. The segregated minutes in time. Let yourself know, I committed an error, however that doesn't make me a terrible individual. Utilize cheerful proclamations. Treat yourself with consideration and support. Rather than thinking your introduction won't work out positively, have a go at disclosing to yourself things, for example, despite the fact that it's intense, I can deal with this circumstance. 5. Retaliate against false or bad thoughts. Your underlying musings probably won't be the best way to see a circumstance, so test the precision of your thoughts. Ask yourself whether your view is reliable with realities and rationale, or whether different clarifications for the circumstance may be conceivable. Know that it tends to be difficult to perceive mistakes in thinking. Since quite a while ago held considerations and beliefs can feel typical and genuine, despite the fact that many are simply conclusions or discernments. Additionally, focus on thought designs that dissolve self-esteem. Negative self-talk. You underestimate yourself, put yourself down, or utilize self-expostulating humor. For instance, I don't merit anything better. Confusing emotions with realities. You confound sentiments or convictions with facts. For instance, I feel like a disappointment, so I should be a failure. Changing over positives into negatives. You dismiss your accomplishments and other positive encounters by demanding that they don't check. For instance, I just excelled on that test since it was so natural. Mental separating. You see just negatives and harp on them, contorting your perspective on an individual or circumstance. For instance, I committed an error on that report and now everybody will acknowledge I'm not up to this activity. Bouncing to negative ends. You arrive at a negative conclusion when practically no proof backings it. For instance, my companion hasn't answered to my email, so I more likely than not must have done something to drive her mad. Win big or bust reasoning. You consider things to be either all acceptable or all terrible. For instance, in the event that I don't prevail in this undertaking, I'm an all-out disappointment. 6. Become mindful of what you're thinking about and believing in. When you've distinguished upsetting circumstances, focus on your thoughts about them. This incorporates what you let yourself know and your understanding of what the circumstance implies. Your contemplations and beliefs may be certain, negative or impartial. They may be sound, in view of reason or realities, or nonsensical, in light of bogus thoughts. Inquire as to whether these convictions are valid. Okay, say them to a companion. In the event that you wouldn't express them to another person, don't express them to yourself. 7. Distinguish upsetting conditions or circumstances. Consider the conditions or circumstances that appear to empty your self-esteem. Basic triggers may include an adjustment in jobs or life conditions, for example, work misfortune or a youngster venturing out from home. A test with a life partner, adored one, collaborator, or other close contact. An emergency at work or home. A work or school introduction. 8. Maintain a strategic distance from people and places that treat you seriously or cause you to feel terrible about yourself. This could mean being increasingly confident. In the event that assertiveness is an issue for you, get some information about decisiveness training. 9. Get others ready. Mention to your companions and family members what you are experiencing and request their recommendation and backing. Maybe they also have comparative issues, in which case you may have the option to shape a care group. Try not to be bashful or held, the vast majority need to help. 10. Be ideal for people, and do decent things for them. Start up a discussion with the mailman or businessperson, welcome a neighbor over for tea, visit a companion who is wiped out, engage with a nearby foundation. Putting a grin all over will undoubtedly put one on yours. 11. Do a portion of the things that you have been putting off, for example, documenting the administrative work, repainting the kitchen, or getting out the nursery. 12. Set yourself a test that you can practically finish. For instance, take up yoga, figure out how to sing, or arrange an evening gathering for certain companions. Simply pull out all the stops. 13. Get masterful. Exercises like verse, music, and move, among numerous others, empower you to communicate and investigate your feelings, connect positively with others, and lessen your degrees of stress. You may even intrigue yourself. Discover a class through your nearby adult instruction administration or community focus. 14. Accomplish a greater amount of the things that you appreciate. Feel free to ruin yourself. Do at any rate one thing that you appreciate each day. 15. Make your living space spotless, agreeable, and alluring. At whatever point I clean my windows or simply water my plants, I appear to feel greatly improved. Show things that help you to remember your accomplishments and the uncommon occasions and people in your life. 16. Invest more energy with those you hold precious. Simultaneously, attempt to amplify your group of friends by putting forth an attempt to meet and get to know people. Become a close acquaintance with people can take years or months, so don't really anticipate quick outcomes. 17. Diminish your stress levels. If it's conceivable, concur with a friend or relative that you will alternate to need each other whenever necessary. 18. Guarantee that you're getting enough sleep. 19. Exercise routinely. Take a walk each day, regardless of whether it is cold or stormy, and take progressively lively exercise, workouts that makes you sweat, a few times each week. 20. Devour great food as a feature of a healthy, adjusted diet. Make eating an uncommon time, regardless of whether you are eating alone. Turn off the TV, put everything out on the table, light a flame, and cause a second to feel thankful. 21. Wear clean garments that cause you to feel great about yourself. Taking everything into account, wear a pressed shirt instead of a folded t-shirt, you get the thought. 22. Give exceptional consideration to your own cleanliness, scrub down, brush your hair, trim your nails, etc. 23. Contemplate yourself. Advise yourself that, regardless of your issues, you are a remarkable, unique, and significant individual, and that you have the right to like yourself. You are, all things considered, a supernatural occurrence of cognizance, the awareness of the universe. Recognize and challenge any negative thoughts about yourself, for example, I'm a washout, I do nothing right, and nobody truly enjoys me. 24. Make 2 records, one of your qualities and one of your accomplishments. Attempt to get a strong family member or friend to assist you with these rundowns, as people with miserable moods are not normally in the most target attitude. Keep the rundowns in a sheltered spot and read through them each morning. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips, information, and advice from Wellness World.